Are you serious, guys? Are you serious? Well, it's getting very serious. Get a cup of coffee. We have updates for you on two separate major events taking place simultaneously with wildfires and earthquakes. But first, a quick shout out, if I could, for gutcleanseprotocol.com/Paul. That's gutcleanseprotocol.com/Paul. If you click on that link below this video, it will explain it all. Speaking of digestive issues, this is caused by potential toxins it's in all the, quote, healthy foods. Are you serious? Scientists have been telling us to eat with a fraudulent food pyramid for the longest time, these foods. And this potential toxin causes digestive issues, according to Dr. Stephen Gundry, that world-renowned cardiologist. This is affecting millions of people nationwide. Warning signs include weight gain, fatigue, digestive discomfort, stiff joints, skin problems. Sounds like you? Well, it could be. And Dr. Stephen Gundry explains these side effects are often mistaken for normal signs of aging because digestive issues develop usually over a matter of years and sometimes even decades. I can assure you, folks, the damage is probably being caused by healthy foods. What? Here's what you need to do. Click on the link below this video. Go to gutcleanseprotocol.com/Paul. That's gutcleanseprotocol.com/Paul. Find out. You'll be glad that you did. I guarantee it. All right. Well, the wildfires are out of control, as you guys know. But first, let's talk about an earthquake. 6.9 major earthquake hitting Japan. Tidal wave fears were announced, the tsunami warning issued, and along with evacuation orders after this huge 6.9 magnitude earthquake hit the Ring of Fire right there off the coast of Japan. And so the sirens went off. People started evacuating. The quake was only 23 miles deep and mainly hit on the southwestern portion of the Kyushu region of Japan, according to the European Mediterranean seismology. That is so wrong. Seismology. No. The guys that track the earthquakes. Okay, so anyway, the European guys said this thing was 6.9. A tsunami warning was issued, and the tremor, right in the area where the tremor was centered, there in the southwestern island of Kyushu, there in Japan. According to Japan Meteorological Agency, the tsunami waves could reach up to 3 to 4 foot in height, but would come in very fast. And so people were extremely concerned. Sirens went off, and people were told to evacuate and run for high ground. And, of course, when they tell you to do it, you move. But good news is, just about an hour ago, the tsunami advisory has finally been lifted. Now, you have people evacuating for nearly 5 hours, but it has been lifted. This 6.9 magnitude earthquake rattled southwest Japan, and the tsunami is now clear, but they still tell the public to stay away from the coast, as there still could be rogue waves that could come crashing in. So don't get anywhere, and the water will be very, the currents too will be dangerously, too dangerous to get in the water. Don't even get too close to the water, okay? So even though the tsunami has been lifted, stay away from the shore for another day or so, okay? Because of the after effects of this thing. Now, that's good news, but let's go to the sad news. Now the death toll is at 25. That's right. 25 people have died in the Los Angeles area due to this insane wildfire. The winds picked up to over 75 miles an hour last night, causing, again, absolute anguish. More homes burning to the ground, more people being evacuated. And then, guys, the worst of humanity comes out. Looters, dressed as firefighters and wannabe arsonists, have been arrested in the LA wildfire crime wave now, as the crooks are trying to exploit the city's pain. Police have released images of mugshots and suspected thieves and arsonists. Here's one of the fire twisters. Okay, so now what's happening is the weird winds, okay, the Santa Ana winds coming down through these canyons is creating tornadoes, but these are fire twisters. So the flames, and so I've seen this before, like in Australia and things like that, but the grief-stricken streets of Los Angeles are watching this incredible phenomenon of these fire twisters out in the mountains. But also, people have been hit with these disgusting looters and wannabe arsonists as the cops are now cracking down on this shock of wildfire crime. The criminals have sought to exploit the most valuable areas during the city's horrifying apocalyptic blaze, and cops are desperately attempting to arrest these crooks, according to the reports. I mean, can you imagine this? But yes, I can imagine this. This is unfortunately the mentality of some of these folks. They're at what they're doing is they're stealing firemen's jackets, or they were able to go to like these military supply stores, and they've been able to buy these. You can get these jackets. They're the firemen's jackets, and they're putting them on, and they're rummaging around through people's stuff, and they're actually going to homes that haven't burnt down, and they're robbing them. But people have been evacuated because the fires were close. So they show up and they start robbing these people. So the several LA neighborhoods have already been decimated by the raging infernos. 25 people are dead. Now we know that over 300,000 people at some point have been evacuated. Twisted criminals have unbelievably exploited the tragedy inflicted on California's biggest city by stealing from the deserted homes that didn't burn. Over 24 people have now been arrested, including one alleged looter who was dressed as a firefighter. The alleged criminals were caught wearing yellow fire jackets with the city's fire department's CDF on it, and they were even wearing fire boots and jeans. The Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna revealed a man was arrested for supposedly burglarizing mansions in the ultra-exclusive Malibu area. He was caught going along the burnt-down beach houses worth millions of dollars, but he also had been in those that had not been burnt down. The alleged crook also was arrested with another man as the pair were spotted on a scooter and a moped. Now, one man said, I was out in the Malibu area. I saw a gentleman that looked like a firefighter. And when I asked him if he was okay because he was sitting down, I didn't realize he was handcuffed. He had already been spotted by police. They had already handcuffed him basically to a pole and left him there while they went to take care of others. The devastating aftermath of the LA wildfires reveals the chief priest warned that the threat is still very high. We're turning him over to the LAPD because he's dressed like a fireman, and yet we know he's not. He just got caught burglarizing a home. The fake firefighter reportedly attempted to claim he was from one of the city's fire departments, but a quick check proved it was false. And despite the tragedy and the loss inflicted by these terror blazes, several suspected arsonists have also been caught. Police have detained Ruben Montiez, a 29-year-old actively lighting fires in the Indewell area, just 16 miles from the horrifying Eaton fire. He had a blowtorch. Firefighters have reported a small brush blaze he was caught attempting to start another wildfire when they caught him with the blowtorch. Fierce, desperate questions into how these devastating wildfires could have ripped through L.A. to this extent have been raised. And these terrifying blazes, which started a week ago, last Tuesday morning, in the ultra-wealthy Pacific Palisades neighborhood, it is feared that this deadly inferno could have been sparked by fireworks, but because a small blaze caused by fireworks on New York's Day did leave some scorched marks, according to reports. But residents claim they're being very, very frustrated by the apparent slow response by the firefighters to this second blaze, and crews are reportedly stuck dealing with other incidences in different areas of the city. Experts have claimed that the perfect mix of strong winds and drought conditions could have caused the slight remnants of the previous fires to restart. Investigators have launched a probe to investigate the cause of the devastating blaze, but they have not revealed an official cause yet. Another suspect has been wielding another blowtorch. He was tackled to the ground, zip-tied by onlookers, not the police, okay? And so it's just, he was seen setting to fire an old Christmas tree and debris using a flamethrower. So, guys, we've got this is the problem. You're fighting more than just wildfires here. You're fighting evil. You're fighting evil. And this is the kind of thing that just, it's just, people are just, I mean, you can imagine over 12,000 homes have burnt to the ground and businesses, and there's no end in sight. Right now, the biggest fire, the Palisades fire, is only 14% contained. The Eaton fire is only 15% contained. And all the other fires, some of them are a little more contained because they're smaller, but we are a long ways away from finishing this. I mean, this could go on for weeks. It really could, because of if it don't rain. I mean, if the bottom line comes down that rain is desperately needed. And this is supposed to be the rainy season. And this low pressure system is sitting there, and the fire is raging, and the Santa Ana winds are higher than normal, and it's all the perfect storm. And then if you got people running around lighting fires on top of it, how in the world are they? And then when you don't have enough water in the reservoirs, and quite a few of the fire hydrants didn't even work, and your politicians are just running around doing nothing. It's just a mess. It's a corruption, and it's a mess, and it's devastating, really. I mean, I'm just going to tell you right now, it's devastating. Pray for these people. Thank God the tsunami has been taken. Warning has been relieved in Japan, but there is chaos everywhere in a world with the apocalyptic signs everywhere.
I see geese flying high above the water, a child fishing with his father in the rain. I can smell blackberry brandy and chocolate-covered candy. I see a soldier crying on a train, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long, as I dream with weary wonder, leaving Earth before the dawn. I walk the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. I feel the deepness of his weakness. I can taste the brandy sweetness at a roadside Idaho cafe. I can hear old Teddy laughing, Fitzgerald's toes a-tapping to the roaring sounds of yesterday. Falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long, as I dream with weary wonder, leaving Earth before the dawn. I walk the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And the light under the Tiffany lamp glows all night long as I dream with weary wonder, leaving earth before the dawn. I walk the lonely streets of Paris. I was lost and so afraid, falling asleep, reading Hemingway. And a shotgun blast echoed across the page, falling asleep, reading Hemingway.
Amen, BP. Yes, The Old Man and the Sea. Yeah, actually, Ernest Hemingway wrote that book. He wrote that book, The Old Man by the Sea. Israel Hall actually brought this song to me. It was written by a guy named Mike Ward. And Mike Ward, of course, wrote quite a few songs in the Nashville area. He's a friend of Israel Hall. And when he wrote this song, it's because he really liked Hemingway books. I remember Israel said that Winona Judd was going to record it, but then there was a terrible accident. Her husband was in a terrible accident, so she canceled that album. And then Elton John actually was going to record this song, and at the last minute scrapped it and decided not to. It's quite interesting. But anyway, I had been to Ernest Hemingway's house, took a tour of it. I always enjoyed reading his books when I was younger. And so I got to go to his house, and, of course, he had the six-toed cat. He had a cat that had 6 toes. And then it had kittens, then they all had 6 toes. And so it's kind of funny because when you go tour, if you ever go to the Florida Keys, you can go tour Harry Truman's, called the Truman White House. You can go visit there, where he liked to hang out and stay all the time down there in the Keys after he was done with his presidency. And even when he was president, he liked to go down there. And you can take a tour of that house, which is really cool. And then not far from there, you can walk down and you can go take a tour of Hemingway's house. They didn't live too far from each other, and they were big friends. They were big buddies. But when you go to Hemingway's house, there's still about 7 or 8 cats that walk around outside, and they have 6 toes. Matter of fact, they've kept those cats, and they have them stored in another location where they're very well taken care of. There's 54 right now. There's 54 cats that all have 6 toes on each foot. Okay, 6 toes. 54 cats now. And some of them are still hanging around Hemingway's house. Anyway, so Israel brought me this song and said, look, none of the big guys have recorded it if you want to record it. So I got on the phone. He called up Mike Ward and said, you want to record? I said, sure, I'll record it. It's just a pretty song. And then I asked Israel and Joseph Shackelford. Joseph, of course, you can hear him on the strings, playing the violin beautifully. And so we took the song, we orchestrated it in a way to where it just have a beautiful sound, and I thought I'd record it. So there it is. I just should have found somebody else to sing it. God bless all of you. I love you guys. I'll be back with more. There's a whole lot going on. Keep praying for the people in California, please. And get your tickets. The webinar coming up. Guys, is today the 13th, right? January 13th. So that means we're only 11 days away from the webinar, which is going to be incredible. There you can see the speakers, BP Earthwatch, John, the AI expert, Stan Deo, Josh Peck, Mike from the World, Clyde Lewis, and Daniel, the shofar guy, who's really Daniel, the cyber expert, and a few more. Okay, Bart's got a documentary. I'm in this. Even my son, Paul Andrews, in there. Oh, anyway, all the goods and some others. So it's going to be a great webinar. Get your tickets. Go to my website. Get your ticket at paulbegleyprophecy.com, or pick up the phone and call right now and order it over the phone if you'd like to do it that way. 765-414-2230. That's 765-414-2230. I'll be back, guys, with more info on the coming apocalypse.